Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2. Before I jump into my review, hit that sub button. Make sure to hit the bell for notifications. I know people said they've missed some of my reviews because it's not appearing in their feed, so make sure to hit that bell for all reminders. So this episode, we actually start with a flashback 8 months ago with Economos and Rick Flag Sr. at Argus. We're kind of seeing what we assumed happened. It's cool to see it, though, that Rick Flag Sr., when he's learning the information of the full report of his son's death, and he can see that now because he is the director of Argus. You see the footage from Suicide Squad again, and he's learning of how Rick Flag Jr. was killed by Peacemaker, and Rick Flag Jr. was trying to do something good. So this is why it would make him extra angry. So he orders 24/7 surveillance on Peacemaker, and he says, F the Peacemaker. So he's really put into this situation where he is the main antagonist of Peacemaker this season. And it's interesting because you watch Creature Commandos, he's a really interesting character there too, but you're rooting for him a lot. So I like how complicated they make some of these characters so far in the DCU. I also want to mention, I actually like the season 2 intro a little better than the season 1 intro, just because I actually like the song a little better in the season 2 intro. I know a lot of people like the first one better, and I get that because it's perfection, but I actually enjoy the song a little more here, so I think this intro is a little more enjoyable. Now, with Peacemaker, we see he's stuck now with the body of Peacemaker 2. This is the Peacemaker from the alternate universe, and he has to hide this body. Meanwhile, it is Economos who is surveilling his house, and it's Agent Fleury we meet, who's played by the great Tim Meadows. Tim Meadows is one of my favorite comedic actors, and anything he's in when he shows up, I am excited. Seriously, he's like top 5 comedic actors for me of all time. So he just elevates this episode for me and steals it. He's sent to watch Economos by Agent Bordeaux. Now, before we even get into that, with Leota, we actually see she's back at her ex's apartment, and we get more clarity about their breakup and that her ex is upset they didn't have the plan they were going to do of going back to Gotham, that she changed plans, that she's going down this path of being a spy. But Leota's like, I have to follow my dreams. Leota says I love you to her, but Keys doesn't say I love you back. So we'll see how long they keep Keys in the equation, but I don't think she'll be a big part. Now with Leota, though, she shows up to Peacemakers, and right away, Agent Fleury is attracted to her. While he's saying all this about her, he's giving Economos a massage. And then they see Eagly come out, and he's like, what's the deal with the parrot? We learn he has bird blindness. I can't tell the difference between one type of bird and another. I was already howling. While they're watching Peacemaker and Leota, Peacemaker shows Leota the unfolding chamber on his phone. And then Peacemaker tries to compare her being Methodist to him having a secret portal and not telling her about it, which was just insane. But this is where it's good they're not monitoring audio, because Leota informs Peacemaker he is being monitored by Rick Flag Sr., and she informs him that he knows he killed his son. She also says she knows this information because she has a friend inside, which is obviously Economos, so Economos dodged a bullet here with there being no audio, and Fleury hearing that. Now, Leota gives Peacemaker good advice to hand over the portal because they're going to use this just as an excuse to send him back to prison. And it's this dangerous toy he's playing with that you can tell he's already got an attachment to. Now, Peacemaker has Vigilante come over. He's the perfect psycho to have him dispose of the body. But of course, Vigilante's upset he wasn't invited to the orgy. And we learn it's not even the fact of him not being invited to an orgy for the terms of sexual pleasure. It's actually he just wanted to bond with his best friend in it. And I love this running story of Vigilante wanting to be his best friend and claiming that title, and him just even getting jealous later on of Economos showing up to the party with Peacemaker. But Peacemaker will bring Vigilante through the portal, and Fleury and Economos will see this. But this is where Bordeaux will tell Fleury that Flag thinks now they should have Economos out of the second part of this, not involved, when they scrub the house. So you can see they already don't trust him. So it's going to be interesting to see where Economos lands in all of this. Now, Vigilante and Peacemaker go full Dexter here, cutting up Peacemaker 2's body. And this is the bonding moment Vigilante wanted to have in the orgy he's getting here. And I love this alien that just appears. We've seen the alien in the dancing intro in the beginning. And Peacemaker says he doesn't like him because he always says hi and he never says hi back. But a big thing is Peacemaker 2's phone will drop out of his pocket. So this is where Peacemaker looks at the pictures of, in that universe, his ex, Harcourt. And this will set up a big cliffhanger at the end of this episode, which we'll get to. But now we get to meet the Fleury squad. He has to yell at his squad to wait to go into the house because when he goes to parties, he brings a gift and usually forgets the gift. So he wants that safety time of Peacemaker possibly coming back. So funny. Now with Harcourt, we've seen this episode in the beginning, after her bar brawl, she's in the pharmacy. A stranger approaches her like she's a victim of domestic abuse, and Harcourt loses her cool towards her, and then she calls the guy who's eavesdropping on her Beaker. And he says, "Do I look like him?" And a stranger says, "A little." And he's like, "Is that bad?" And she's like, "It's not good. That had me dying." Harcourt also pauses at the help wanted sign for cashier, so it's like this reality she's hitting now where she's out of a job. She is not doing good, not working for Amanda Waller anymore, and she's lost her sense of purpose. What I really want to see with Harcourt's story, though, is she's a character we really don't know the most about, so I really hope this season they get into her backstory a bit and why she is the way she is. Now, Harcourt is the one who hosts the reunion of our crew, so it's good to see them all together. That is when the show shines, but I was already dying when Vigilante's throwing Economos the beer, misses, and then goes for it again. And you see Peacemaker makes a toast. No one will break us apart. So obviously, that's some foreshadowing that something's going to break them apart. Probably the alternative dimension. Now, back with Fleury's crew at the house. The offensive nicknames. When he said titties, I was crying my eyes out. And the way the one agent reacts saying, "Dude, you can't just call us that." And he's like, "Where do you think we are? Effing Berkeley? How else am I going to remember you?" Just Tim Meadows just crushing. And then when they start raiding the house, they get a rude awakening by Eagly. You know, James Gunn loves to have some kind of animal character have a big moment like this, and Eagly's having his big moment here. And I love Fleury can't tell how big Eagly is. He's like, "Effing bird blindness." And the coolest moment was Eagly pulling out one of the agent's eyeballs with the moon in the background. That was a great shot. But I was so relieved Fleury was still alive. I thought they already killed him. I was like, you can't kill that character already. He's too good. So what happens here with our crew? Peacemaker is with Harcourt on the rooftop. He hypothesizes she is looking for fights going to these bars. She denies it. She thinks he is trying to insinuate she's a damaged bird like him. So this ends awkward, this conversation. And while that's happening, Vigilante's in the background in his tighty whities having beer poured on him. But where this cliffhanger set up is that Peacemaker comes home hammered to the aftermath of what Eagly did. In his drunken stupor, he grabs the Peacemaker 2 phone. This is like just a regretful text, right? You're going to have at night in this kind of moment. He goes the other dimension to text Harcourt. But when he gets there, he hears his dad is worried about where Peacemaker 2 is. Again, because the body's obviously not in that area. And he mentions to who he's on the phone with to reach out to Karen, the girl he's with at the time, Peacemaker 2, which is this Teen Titan Bumblebee Karen. I feel like that must be because she's like one of the only Karens in the DC universe, unless it's just a coincidence of a name. And the Harcourt in this universe answers with a hey and a little broken heart. So you go, oh boy, like this is not going to be good. Him falling into this trap now of texting the Harcourt from another universe posing as the other Peacemaker. So overall, I'm going to give this episode an 8.2. I still think this season is struggling to find its footing a little bit compared to season 1, where season 1 was just nonstop in the sense of having such good momentum and having that chemistry of the cast that really made it. It's tough when you have them separated. I'm glad they were more together this episode, but I hope it doesn't get bogged down in the alternate dimension stuff and get stuck with characters we've already seen, like the dad, too much. We'll see, though. I'm not that thrilled about another multiversal timeline. We've seen this so much in superhero shows, so it's kind of getting just played out, but we'll see how it is. I'm still enjoying it, and what really killed for me was the humor here. And I think what I love about Peacemaker, the show, is how funny it is. I think it is James Gunn's funniest work. And Tim Meadows here just shining was really the highlight for me. So I just really enjoyed how much I laughed during this episode. But we'll see where things come. I'd love to hear your guys' theories in the next episode. What's going to happen? Who is this Karen girl? Everything, what you thought of the episode, leave the comments below. I try to respond as many as I can. I read every single one of them. Please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Instagram. I could really use the help right now. And subscribe as well. And I'll see you next time.